Shall we have our next guest, ladies and gentlemen? I think we should. He is, I think, one of the funniest comic actors working in the business today. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rob Brydon. I think that was being played because, of course, you are a Welsh gentleman.
I am indeed, yes.
The wonderful country of Wales.
Thank you. Do you think I look like Bruce Forsyth?
You've got the slightly elongated face.
And B.A. Robertson?
Well, like a horrible hybrid of the two of them.
Did you ever read the interview that Bruce Forsyth gave to Time Out magazine when he was doing his autobiography?
Strangely, no, I missed that one.
Right, well, it was an interview about the... oh, it's Tom. There was an interview about the autobiography, and at the end they said, where were you for September the 11th? So you'd expect some very heartfelt, you know, circumspect thing. And he said, well, he said, I was playing golf with Ronnie Corbett. He said it was a smashing day. It was for charity. This lovely fellow had paid £2,000. It was right near my house at Wentworth. And we'd just come off, and we're having champagne. And there was something on the razor, but nobody noticed it. Anyway, we went back to my house. And my housemaid, Cora, had made some lovely spring rolls. He said they're her speciality, and they were beautiful. They were lovely. And we were having those, it was lovely. And then someone said something awful's happened in New York. And it was terrible.
You know what? I think maybe he thought they were asking him because they were going to pin it on him and he had to offer up an alibi.
He said, and I had nothing to do with it, I can honestly say.
Marion and Jeff is the first thing I was aware of you being in, OK? For people who haven't seen it, how would you explain the conceit behind that show?
Well, it was a monologue, and it was about a bloke whose wife had left him for a man called Jeff. And the camera, it was a single shot, it was a static shot the whole time. The camera was mounted on the dashboard. And he was driving a minicab, and he was basically talking about his wife and the times they had together, and the comedy of it was the gap between his perception of his state and the reality of it, and the audience realised the reality of it, which was that he was in a terrible way.
What I liked about it was obviously very funny, but it was also quite sort of touching and very sad at the same time.
Some people don't find it funny at all. I get people who say to me, I don't find it funny at all.
You know what? I get that quite a lot about my work.
Yeah. But they did seriously. I mean, it's sort of fairly dark.
Let's have a look. We've got a clip here, which I think, which kind of encapsulates that quite neatly. I think this is Rob Brydon in Marion and Jeff. Great piece of work.
Thank you.
It really is. Are you doing more with him? Are you doing more?
We've got 7.5 hours starting in January, where he's a chauffeur for an American couple. And lots of things have happened since about 2 years since we last saw him. There's been some big events that have happened. And I'm doing him in the West End. This is different to the TV show. This is like a standalone sort of monologue to the audience. It's basically a talk on making divorce work, divorce without tears. And that's the New Ambassadors in the West End.
So you're actually doing that on stage? Is theatre here in London?
4 Sundays.
OK, and when people come to see that, do you think they'll be coming along thinking, genuinely, this is a place we go because we are having problems with our divorce, and then cruelly disappointed to find you doing a comic riff on the subject?
I really don't know what people will expect, because people have said to me, will you be sitting in a seat the whole time and looking at the audience like that? Which, no. So it'll be as though he's been asked to go and give a talk, to share his experience.
Let me talk about the new thing you're doing. I don't know when it's going to be on TV. Is it called Cruise of the Gods? Is that
Cruise of the Gods, yes.
And this sounds very exciting. It's you, Steve Coogan,
yeah,
and many other very talented comedy actors, including a guy who's a real favourite of mine, David Walliams.
David Walliams from
who was in Rock Profiles.
Yeah.
He's a very funny guy. He's in the green room. There he is.
Yeah.
Look, what a good-looking young man. Look at him. And the idea behind this is what?
I was an actor in the 80s in a cult sci-fi show. I'm now down on my luck. Steve was in it as well, Steve Coogan.
Kind of like Blake Seven or
yeah, it was that sort of thing. It's called The Children of Castor. It's like a cross between Blake Seven and The Tomorrow People. I'm now down on my luck working as a hotel porter. Steve, meanwhile, has gone to Hollywood and is the star of a show called Sherlock Holmes in Miami, where he solves crimes. He's famous the world over.
Right.
I get asked by David, who's the head of the Children of Castor fan club, to come on a fan cruise. Right. And I'm very bitter about it, but I go for the money. I hate it. I think the fans are obsessive and it's dreadful. I get fed up. I go into the sea, and who should I see but Steve on his cruiser, looking fantastic. He thinks the whole thing's great. He comes back. They all love him, making it worse for me.
So it's basically, once again, though, it's one of those comedies of awkwardness and you being...
Yeah, but it's a bit more accessible, I would say.
You filmed on a real cruise ship, is that right?
Yeah.
And you took it over for the duration? It was only you and the film crew, or...?
No, we had to fit in with all the passengers. Some of them liked us being there. The Americans, oh, this is just great. You have made our cruise for us. Having you guys here is just the best. The Germans were different. They
now you do surprise us. I have a photograph of you. I asked David what it was like filming you. He said it was great. He enjoyed the experience. He has a photograph. I believe you had to bunk up together.
Oh, good God, what is this?
Yeah, look at this. Now, here's a picture. Now, you've kept this close to your chest. Have a look at this.
I hope people have seen the look on my face. I'm there against my will. Have you heard of a substance called Rohypnol?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that Coca-Cola tasted a bit odd. We had to share. David was pushing and... What's he doing? David was pushing and pushing. He wanted someone to share with. I said, OK, I will, for once.
It looks like a before and after advert for chest hair removal. Look at that. The impersonation you've done so far, the one you did of Bruce Forsyth, which is a hard guy to nail. You do, and this is remarkable because I think you're doing well enough to be like just to do this if you wanted, and yet you actually do mainly the acting. But the impersonations, I think, are as good, if not better, than anything Mike Yarwood ever did. Yeah. Let's have a...
Who?
Hugh Grant. You do Hugh Grant.
Oh, Hugh Grant. I'll do it to the camera because they're ready. Gosh, so John, how's that gorgeous girlfriend of yours? I thought I might, sort of skulk around outside for a while and maybe try and meet Kylie. Excellent.
That's fantastic. You all right? Kylie likes it. Is she?
I think you are.
I won't ask you this more. I want you to do your best one at the end, if that's all right. And you know who I'm talking about, Ed, don't you?
Lloyd Grossman.
No, not Lloyd Grossman. Do you do Lloyd Grossman?
Oh, yes.
Do you do these at home on your own? Is that how you
No, I don't. And when I used to do them, you used to get asked to do Lloyd Grossman again. I heard him today on the radio doing a commercial for a storage space company saying, you can make the best of your home, basically if you get rid of half the furniture and put it in storage. It was a bit odd.
I do a very good Lloyd Grossman. Who will live in a house like this? You strangle the valve. Who will live in a house like this? Welcome to Master Chef. See? It's like... The best impersonation you do, I think, is Tom Jones, of course. How do you do Tom? What's the Tom Jones key to impersonating?
Well, the main thing... Can I stand up?
Oh, yeah, please.
Is you've got to bulk up a bit. You've got to imagine you're almost a dinosaur.
Oh, look, this is like the opening scene from 2001, look.
Oh, yeah. And then you've got to give it the cough. Oh, yeah!
Mr. Rob Brydon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you.